Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, today we are diving into something that literally represents a massive, fundamental shift in how we interact with technology. Microsoft AI just unveiled a highly anticipated rollout that is completely reshaping their entire ecosystem. Mustafa Suleyman and his team have announced this totally new approach, and they're calling their organization a hill-climbing machine. It's designed to constantly push the absolute frontier of what's possible. So we're going to unpack exactly what that means for you, using the very details straight from their announcement. 1,000 times. Let that sink in for a second. To truly grasp the magnitude of this announcement, you kind of have to understand the sheer, mind-boggling scale of the hardware backing it. The compute used to train frontier models up to this point, it's already increased by a factor of 1 trillion, right? 1 trillion. And now Microsoft is expecting another 1,000-fold increase over just the next 3 years. There is no way around it. That kind of epic scale means we're going to see rapidly advancing capabilities, and it perfectly sets the stage for the new models we are about to explore. So, to guide us through this massive drop of information, here is our map for the climb. We'll start with the epic compute ramp, then we'll meet the new MAI model family, check out your personal training gym, dive into some real-world industry applications, and wrap up with Humanist Superintelligence. All right, let's jump straight into Section 1. The epic compute ramp, scaling hardware. AI is definitely not on some slow, linear path. It is on an epic compute ramp. Like we said, we've had a trillion-fold increase in the past, which brings us right to our present moment with the rollout of the new MAI model family. And the future, it points directly to that 1,000x increase over the next 3 years. This compute ramp is going to fundamentally change the nature of work, business, and honestly, your daily life. Microsoft's stated job with MAI is to help you prepare for this reality. They want to be the hill-climbing machine that ensures you stay right at the cutting edge, cycle after cycle, as they just keep applying more compute and better data. Moving right along to Section 2, the MAI model family, trained from scratch. Let's move to our base camp and actually meet this new generation of tools. We are looking at a family of 7 new models. And what's absolutely vital to note here is that Microsoft trained these completely from scratch. Zero distillation from other labs, no unlicensed or opaque data. The whole shebang is homegrown. Plus, they co-designed these models with their own Maia 200 silicon, which is already giving them a massive 1.4x efficiency boost. This is a truly multimodal ecosystem. These aren't just generic toys. They are built for real-world tasks. You've got Thinking 1 as their flagship reasoning model. Then there's Image 2.5, generating design-ready images and actually beating the arena score of Nano Banana Pro. Transcribe 1.5 is turning noisy audio into super precise text, running 5 times faster than competitors across 43 languages. And Voice 2, it brings incredibly natural speech generation in 15 languages, adapting to voices from super short samples. They're all designed to work together and integrate directly into the products you already use every day. Now, what's really interesting is the contrast between general and specialized intelligence within this single family. On one hand, we have MAI Thinking 1. This is your mid-weight, flagship reasoning model. It actually matches Sonnet 4.6 in blind side-by-side evaluations, so it's a powerhouse built for complex problems. But on the other hand, look at MAI Code 1 Flash. This is a highly specialized 5 billion parameter model. It's agentic, it's inference efficient, and it's tailor-made to be built right into GitHub Copilot and VS Code. It delivers best-in-class quality for its size, which really proves that sometimes a lightweight, purpose-built tool is exactly what an engineering workflow demands. Up next is Section 3, your training gym, frontier tuning. But wait, the models themselves are really just part of the story. The real climb begins when we look at how these systems adapt to you. And this brings us to a frankly revolutionary concept, Microsoft Frontier Tuning. By using reinforcement learning in real-world environments, AI can finally fully adapt to the specific, gritty nuances of your given workflow. Think about it. Developers and businesses have been practically begging for AI that delivers on their terms, under their total control. Well, Frontier Tuning is Microsoft's direct answer to that exact demand. So, how does it actually work in practice? It's basically a 3-step process. Step 1. The system traces real workflows. It looks at the actual sequence of steps, the decisions, and the actions taken that define how tasks really get done inside your organization. Step 2. The model adapts through reinforcement learning environments. Microsoft playfully describes these as training gyms for AI, which are accessible only to you. And step 3, and this is absolutely crucial, your institutional knowledge becomes part of the model, but it stays completely private and controlled by you. Your data is your most valuable asset, and this system ensures you never, ever lose ownership of it. Which leads us perfectly into Section 4, Industry Applications, Real-World Impact. Okay, it's easy to sit here and talk about theoretical training gyms and potential efficiency, but how is this actually performing out in the wild, right? Well, when Microsoft took MAI and tuned it specifically for Excel, it completely matched the performance of GPT 5.4, but get this, it was 10 times more efficient. Let that sink in. Better performance, but using dramatically less compute. And we see the exact same story with McKinsey. When tuned for McKinsey's highly exacting enterprise standards, MAI achieved the highest win rate of any model tested, and again, at roughly 10 times lower cost. So custom models aren't just a nice-to-have luxury anymore. They are objectively better and significantly cheaper for businesses. And the implications get even more profound when we look at really high-stakes domains like healthcare. Microsoft has partnered with the Mayo Clinic to co-create a frontier AI model specifically designed for health intelligence. It leverages Mayo's world-leading clinical expertise and their de-identified data. But here is the critical part. It is going to be deployed first completely within Mayo's own environment. That ensures clinical rigor and enables much earlier, more accurate diagnoses. And the best part? The model will be owned entirely by the Mayo Clinic. That is a game changer for reinforcing patient trust, and it proves that customized frontier tuning really works, even in the most sensitive, highly regulated industries on the planet. Finally, we reach the summit. Section 5, Superintelligence, a humanist approach. We've seen the compute, we've explored the models, the custom training, and the real-world proof. So what does this all mean? The MAI team summarizes their entire philosophy with a really powerful term, Humanist Superintelligence. They stated incredibly clearly, advanced AI systems designed to serve people and organizations, not replace them. People, you, must always remain in control. I love that. They are building systems specifically meant to amplify human potential. These models are built to remain tools, completely subordinate to human goals and totally accountable to human oversight. Look, in an era defined by an epic compute ramp like this one, continuous learning isn't just a fun advantage, it's an absolute necessity. If you're not learning, you're falling behind. So make sure to subscribe right now to keep your own personal hill climbing machine moving forward. Let's leave it on this thought. We are officially entering an era where AI doesn't just hand you generic answers anymore. It learns the very DNA of your organization's workflow right inside your own private training gym. So my question to you is this. If AI is rapidly adapting to your exact workflows, are you ready to be the director of your own superintelligence? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you on the next climb.